welcome to Confessions of a Yarn Addict. My name is Anniken and this is episode 44. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you like what you find here and that you will stick around. If you're a returning viewer, welcome very much. I really appreciate your support. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and please leave a comment. So in last episode I told you that I'd reached 1,000 subscribers and that I was doing a prize draw, a giveaway, and I will give you the winner later on in this episode. I'll also share my latest design for Knitting Magazine. I will share what's on my needles, a bit from my first workshop of the year, and a few other things. So I hope you'll stick around for this episode. So to start with, I just want to mention, if you watched the last video, which was a tutorial on tuck stitch, you will have seen it already, but my latest design for Knitting Magazine is out. So this is the cardigan. It is knitted in Macintosh. The green is Fabulous DK and the grey is Calm. So Fabulous is a blend of Blueface Leicester and Grade A Mulberry Silk, and the grey is Calm, which is a cashmere blend. I think it's got a little bit of extra fine merino in there as well, but mostly cashmere, and it's amazingly soft. So if you want to know more about that cardigan, do watch the last video I released last week, which is a tuck stitch tutorial, but I also talk about that video and show you some close-up details of it. But the cardigan is in issue 227 of Knitting Magazine, which arrived last week. It's a focusing on textured knits. So if you look at the shawl on the cover, if you look underneath it here, just peeking out is my cardigan design. So very excited about that. I haven't had a chance to sit down and look at this properly yet, but it does have some amazing patterns in it, including mine, of course. I will put the link, by the way, to the magazine website. It's Knitting Magazine issue 227 in shops in the UK now, and I will also put the link to where you can buy the yarn. So Macintosh they've done like yarn packs, both for this design and the design I had last year in Let's Knit magazine. So I'll put the link to that below. There is a short row tutorial with Joe Allpod in this issue. There are Ask Sarah, your queries answered by Sarah Hazel, your letters page, lots of gorgeous patterns, very pretty, kids stuff. Oh, a couple of very nice men's designs. I really like those, very nice. Nice to see some men's patterns in magazines as well, because they do tend to be a bit women focused. What I do like about Knitting Magazine is that they take 3 of their designs and they show it in different color combinations, and then they show other things that you can style and accessorize it with, which I think is quite nice. And then gorgeous poncho there, and some more gorgeous designs. Loads of designs in this issue, all focused on texture. More gorgeous designs, more. There's definitely a green color theme this issue. I like that sweater, that's nice. And then of course my design, hang on, can I show you that properly? There we go, very, very pretty. And then there's like a yarn review page, there are book reviews, and there's a interview with Emma Vining, I think it's Vining. I think she's got a new book out, and she's obviously designed some stuff for Knitting Magazine. She's one of their regular designers. Then there's the Tom Daly interview, which is nice. And then, oh, it's all about Very Perry. So that's the new colour of the year from Pantone, is it? Yeah, Pantone. Colour of the year, Very Perry. I love that colour. It's gorgeous. I may have something coming up in that colour. Watch this space. I'm wearing all purple today, but a slightly different shade of purple. So yeah, lots of stuff. I like all their like news pages where they have lots of little stories and news and stuff. Really like that. And that's it. Really nice issue. Issue 227 in the shops in the UK now, so make sure you look for that in your local newsagent. If you're not in the UK, you may be able to get it where you live, or you may also be able to get order it online. I'm also not sure whether they do a digital copy, so I'll put a link to their website and you can check there. I can't remember whether they do digital copies or not. I'm sure they do, so I'll put all the links to that below, and I'll also put the link to Macintosh where you can buy this gorgeous yarn. Got a new ball winder. So I've had an electric ball winder for about 15 years and I love it, but it's not been working properly for a while and I can't seem to fix it. And I don't know whether I really need to replace it. I got it when I was doing hand-dyed yarn and I used to offer ball winding for customers, but I don't do that anymore. So I don't know if I can really justify replacing my electric ball winder. I might try and see if I can get it fixed again, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And I've got a cheap plastic ball winder that I bought many years ago, which is broken and which is rubbish. And I've been thinking about treating myself to the Nipro ball winder for a while, and I've just not gotten around to it. And I have a wholesale account with one of the Nipro distributors, so I decided, after winding loads of yarns a few days ago with my old ball winder, I decided to get it. So they do two different types. I went for the natural one. So natural ball winder comes in quite a big box. Taking that bit off the top, open the box, taking that bit off, and that's what it looks like. So I don't know what that is, so let's get this out. So this is the signature ball winder from, no, this is the natural ball winder from Nipro. So the signature has coloured wood, like the signature Nipro signature needles. I went for the natural one because it was cheaper, basically. I'm assuming they're the same otherwise, but it was cheaper, so I thought I'd go for that. I only worry about it is the size of it, because it is quite big. It is quite a big item, and I am a bit worried about space for it in my office, because I'm a bit space challenged. But I'm also fed up with putting up with a really rubbish ball winder. So apologies for that squeaky noise. Just get all this foam stuff off. There we go. So I know these drive bands, I think you can buy extra of those. So if they break, I think you can buy like repair kits. So I assume that goes around like that. Let's see what else. I think this is a clamp to clamp it to the table. I've seen people use similar ones, just loose, not clamped to the table. So, but you can also clamp it. So I don't know. I'll have to see what it's like. So you feed the yarn through here, and then there are notches here, and then you. Okay. Help if I put the dry band on properly. There we go. And then you use that one, and I would imagine you need to clamp it, otherwise it just moves around. So it's got quite a big clamp. Problem in this, but the dining room table, is that the edges are sloped, so normally clamping stuff to can be quite difficult, but this actually looks a bit better. Let me just see if I clamp it to the table what it ends up being like. So one of the problems with my old plastic ball winder is the fact that when I clamp it to this table, it doesn't clamp on properly because of the sloping edge on this table, and then when I'm winding yarn, it falls off quite easily. I think I'm going to have a similar problem here, but I think it's slightly better. So, I don't know how easy it is to see that, but that is a little bit better than using my old ball winder, I think. I am a bit worried about the size of it. It is quite big, but we'll see. So the problem is because this bit here, it slopes, so it's difficult to get this wound on properly. Really, I should have this closer to the edge of the table, so this one comes all the way across, but then that doesn't fit with this table. So that is the problem. But and then also, because I have a wholesale account with the distributor, I have a catalogue, but I couldn't find the up-to-date price list, so they've also sent me a price list, and then they also always include a bag of sweets, and then the instructions for the ball winder. So I'm assuming I put it on correctly. It looks like it. So you can get the replacement bands if they break, and they wind pretty big balls as well. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that. It looks like I put it all together correctly, but I'll keep that just in case. I'm actually going to get a new Knit Pro Swift as well, so I will do a proper in-depth review of it when that comes, but I just wanted to show you what this looks like. And then when I get the Knit Pro Swift, hopefully in a couple of weeks, I will show you, I'll do a proper review and show you what it looks like. I'm casting off this poncho. I'm probably about 3/4 of the way around. It's a lot of stitches to cast on, over 1,000 stitches. So I started last night, and then I'm about to go and finish it now. But this is the Lavinia poncho, which is an old pattern which I've redone in a new yarn, and the pattern will be out in a few weeks in 2 sizes rather than the old one, which was just 1 size. But it's got beads on the edge, really pretty beads, and yeah, really happy with the colour. Love the colour. So it is Saturday, and I actually spent the day clearing out a built-in cupboard in our bedroom, which is used for storage and all my handbag collection and stuff. So I'm a little bit of a mess, but this arrived today, so I thought I would show it to you before I put it away. So it comes in this really cute silver bag. This is something I ordered over Christmas when I was in Norway, and I was worried it would arrive while I was in Norway. I think I put a note on it to say not to post it till I got back, but it's only just arrived, so I didn't have to worry. So it is from the little grey girl, who I have ordered from before. She does really nice project bags. I'm sure I've got some of her project bags. I'm sure she used to do a lot of knitting notions, like stitch markers and things, and she does yarn as well. So I ordered, oh, this is pretty. So it comes wrapped in black tissue paper, and then, oh, I really like this. So, as if I needed another project bag, but this gorgeous project bag. So this is printed on. The last project bag I got was also, which was in my last podcast episode, was also a rainbow version, but very different from this. So I've got a bit of a theme going. But yeah, I love this. So it's got a little grey girl tag on it. It's got a strap, so if you wanted to, you can hold it like that. And then it's got a slip opening with a, I don't know whether that's leather or like a leather look. I think it's leather suede. Open it like that. And then inside it's got grey lining. So there's no pockets or anything inside, which is fine because I don't tend to use the inside pockets anyway. Really like this, really pretty. Enough for a shawl, small shawl, or a shawl knitted in fine yarn. Sock project, a little bit big for what I tend to use for a sock project bag, but I would probably use this for a shawl or for a part of a garment. And then I also got a skein of yarn. And I think this is the first time I've actually got yarn from Little Grey Girl. I've seen that she's done yarn for a while, I think, but this is the first time I actually ordered yarn. So this beautiful rainbow skein, I love that. It's got pink, yellow, blue, navy, I think. Gorgeous, really like that. So this is Little Grey Girl, back to socks, self-striped sock, yak sock yarn. I can remember what the blend was. So it's got 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon, 400 meters per 100 gram. So I really love that. So I think that might be my next sock cast on after I finish the socks that are currently on my needles. One thing you have to be a bit careful about, so just a warning from experience, this has 20% yak and 70% superwash merino and 10% nylon. So I've had yak, this blend sock yarn before, and because it's superwash merino, I thought, well, I can machine wash it. But the 20% yak is not machine washable. So this label says hand wash, and in the past when I've had this same blend of sock yarn, I've machine washed it and they felt it. So I know this time I will not be machine washing them. I tend to wash most of my socks on a wool wash setting. I might knit a swatch and see if it will take a wool wash setting, but I think that's what I did previously when I had the yak sock yarn, or yak blend sock yarns. Even though it's got superwash merino, the yak is not machine washable. So be careful with blends that have superwash merino or superwash wool and other things that may or may not be machine washable. So nylon is fine, but yak, things like that, cashmere, that kind of thing may not be machine washable. So I think I'll have to be careful and hand wash these, but love the colour, beautiful, really pretty. Love the project bag. So yes, it was well worth the wait. Progress on my blanket. So it started in the corner over here, and then I increased till I reached the full width. I don't know where that was. Oh, here. So I increased till I reached the full width, and then worked straight, and then decreased down to this corner. When I got to here, I ran out of pink yarn, so the rest is in purple and grey, which I quite like actually. I think that looks good. And then I did one round of double crochet around the edge just to neaten it, and then I've done one round of treble crochet, and then I've started doing a different pattern around the edging. Just had to find it. It's here. I don't think it's that visible because it's quite dark. I'm trying to do like a know what it's called, gathered stitch. I just wanted something a little bit more decorative than just treble crochet. So I got 4 more 50-gram balls of this purple yarn, so I'll probably use at least 3 of them, I think, for the edging. I'll see how wide the edging gets. I'd like it to be a bit bigger really, but so I'll probably use as much of the yarn I've got for the edging. I'm quite happy with the size, perfect size for kind of cuddling under, and I'm knitting on in my chair. It's not huge, but if I stand up and hold it, it's probably from my chest to the floor, I think. So yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I really like this purple edging. So let's talk about what I've been knitting. I made quite a bit of progress on my socks. So this sock I cast on when I was in Norway. A couple of days before we came home, we had to go into Oslo to get our COVID test so we could fly back to the UK, and we spent a day in Oslo. So I knitted on this on the train, on the boat trip we went on while we were waiting for our test and for the result, and just out and about in Oslo. So I finished the first one. I didn't bring my bag upstairs with me. I'm trying to remember what the yarn is. I think it is Regia Calf Facet design line. Really pretty colours. It is actually smidgen too long for my feet. It'll be fine, I can wear them, but I'm wondering whether maybe I give them to Simon. I'll see whether he likes them when I finish them. I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel for the first time. It's a short row heel using what I think are called shadow wraps, which I'd never done before. I'm happy with one side. That side looks very neat. That's the TSK side. So if you've done Fish Lips Kiss heels or shadow wraps before, that's the TSK side. The other side, the TSP I think it is, where I'm basically doing it on the pearl side, is not very nice. It's a bit loose there. I think I might be able to tighten it up a little bit by just pulling on the strands like that on the back. So I might try and tighten it up a bit. It doesn't actually look as bad as I thought it was going to be. When I first did it, I did the heel when we were on the boat trip in the Oslo fjord in Norway, and I ripped it out because I wasn't happy with it. Then I redid it and I tried to do really tight on the TSP side, and I think that is better, but I'm still not 100% happy with it. But fit wise it's okay. I've tried them on, and fit wise it is okay, so I'm quite happy with them. The leg is 100 rounds. It's quite a long leg, all in stocking stitch, and then 30 rounds of rib at the top. So I finished this one last night, and then I cast on for sock number 2, but I've only done the toe, so I didn't bother bringing that upstairs to show you. And another pair of socks on the needles is going really well. So this is a yarn I bought in Norway, and it is called, let's have a look, it's Viking Aurora, and it's super sock machine washable. It is a DK weight, and it is colorway 670, and it's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. I haven't used their sock yarn before. I do have another skein that I bought in Spain a few years ago, which I haven't used yet. This is their DK weight, and I was worried about doing my normal afterthought heel because I was worried about making sure I had enough yarn left, because it's a thicker weight than I'm used to. So what I decided to do was to do basically the Fish Lips Kiss heel, but with German short rows. and I thought it was okay, and then looking at it now, I'm not that happy. Me and shorter heels. That side looks okay-ish. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. This side is pretty bad. Not happy. So I don't know what to do. I've got quite a lot of yarn left. I think I've done about 85 rounds on the leg now. It's quite long. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking out the heel and doing afterthought heel instead. But I haven't decided yet. I thought the heel looked better than it did, and looking at it now, I'm really not happy with it. Can I be able to do something about it? I'm not ripping out the whole sock. I'm a bit worried that if I try and take out the heel, I might mess it up, which wouldn't be very good. So I might wait and see what I think. I don't know. But I'm really happy with it. I wanted to do some DK socks because my Pilates classes are in a very cold hall and my feet are freezing. And I did knit a pair of DK socks before Christmas, which do make my feet warmer when I wear them during Pilates. But like last week, I couldn't wear them because they were in the wash and I'd forgotten to wash them. So I do want another pair. I'm not going to finish it for this week's class, but maybe next week's. Knitting up quite quickly. I did actually knit a bit on this. Yesterday when we were doing a bit of job outside. So we've had some small animals. We're not sure whether it's a big bird like a pigeon or whether it's possibly a squirrel, but something has gotten into the roof above our bedroom, kind of not in the loft but in the space between the loft and the roof eaves, is that what it's called. We had a problem with it last spring for a few weeks, and then they moved out, and then it came back again just after Christmas. So we had to do something about getting it out, because some nights, whatever's there, running up and down all night, and it's kept me awake a few nights. It's not rats and it's not mice, I don't think. I think it's probably a bird. Anyway, someone was on the ladder trying to fix it, and because the ground slopes quite steeply at that side of the house, I had to stand on the ladder. And I think we were there for like nearly 3 hours. So I was standing on the ladder, basically just making sure it didn't fall over. To start with, I was just standing there. Then I got bored. So then I started playing Tetris on my phone. And then I thought, well, I can really do something more useful. So I went in and grabbed my sock and I did loads of knitting. So I'll show you a little bit of a peek of that now. So I'm working on my cowl, and I normally knit stranded colour work holding both yarns in my left hand, continental style. It looks quite complicated, and when I first learned this method it took me a while to get the hang of it, but now I quite like it. So I've got both the yarns around my left index finger, and I find this easy way to knit stranded colour work. In my workshops and in my online course, my Scandinavian stranded colour work and steeking course, I actually show you how to do both this method. So if you're already a continental style knitter, then I show you how you can do this method. But if you're an English style knitter, I show you how to do the continental knit stitch so that you can knit with one colour in each hand. So I don't normally knit like this very often anymore, but I do occasionally. So that's just, I'm just weaving in that grey colour as I go, because it is, so I was just weaving in that grey colour as I go because it's quite a long float. But it doesn't really matter how you do stranded colour work. You can do both colours in your right hand as well, but in my workshops and my online course I show you how to do this method with one colour in each hand. So I show you how to do continental knit stitch and English style knit stitch, so whichever way you knit you can combine the two colours, but I also show you how to do them both in your left hand continental style like I do. So I'll put the link below to my online course, and if you want to know when I'm teaching in your area, if you're in the UK, do subscribe to my newsletter, because that's where I announce workshops first. project I've been working on is in my new project bag, which I showed you last time, which is from Syndra Arts. I'll put the link below. Love this project bag. It's really nice because I'm using 2 balls and they just sit in the bottom of the bag because it's got a bit like that. So they just sit in the bottom of the bag, and then I put it on the chair next to me and it sits really upright and the yarn feeds through really easily. So I really like that. Anyway, I'm working on my colourwork cowl, which looks like that at the moment. So I'm quite pleased with it. I think I'm nearly 2/3 of the way through the first half. It's going to be kind of like a double layer. So I'm knitting the first half now, and then I'm reversing the colours on the second half. So I'm really pleased with it. Looks nice, I think. I'm happy with it. So yeah, just going to keep plugging away at it. My goal was to finish it by the end of January, but I think I started a bit late, so I'm kind of aiming to finish it by middle of February so I can get the pattern tech edited and ready by the end of February. I'm mainly designing this because I want to use it as a pattern for a new workshop. So that's kind of, but I will release the pattern as a normal pattern as well, but that's the main thing I'm designing it for, really. So just putting it back in the bag. The yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners Exquisite 4-ply, which is a blend of I think it's Falklands Merino and silk. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a dream to knit with. Really enjoying it, and it fits really nicely in this bag because the balls of yarn sit at the bottom, kind of upright, and then pattern slides in the side, and then the projector slides on top. So perfect size for this new project bag. Felt a bit guilty buying new project bag because I have a few, but I'm really happy with it, so that's good. Next week, from the Monday 7th of February to Thursday 10th of February, there is a new online yarn show. It's the Cambridge Yarn Festival, and I'll put the link below. It's happening every evening from Monday to Thursday next week, and there's going to be different lives and different events going on in the evening. I don't know whether the schedule is up yet, but I will put the link to the website below. I'm going to be live one evening on Instagram, so have a look at the website and keep an eye on my social media and my newsletter, and I'll put up more details as soon as I have it. And if I have the details by the time I edit this video, I'll pop it on the screen. So last night my 1,000 subscriber giveaway closed, and I have tallied up all the entries, and I used the random number generator to choose the winner, and the winner is Ali Williams. So Ali wins one of my online courses. You can choose which one. So the online courses I have are Scandinavian stranded colourwork and steeking, which is the same technique as fair owl knitting, continental knitting, successful lace knitting, Aventura socks, finishing techniques, and so one more, stranded colourwork and steeking, successful lace knitting, continental knitting, finishing techniques, Aventura socks. That's it. I will put the link to my course page below, so if you didn't win but you're interested in one of those courses, you can take a look. The questions I asked was, is there a technique that you have conquered or a technique that you were intimidated by and you want to conquer? And I haven't replied to everyone yet. I just haven't had time yet, but I will reply to all of you. But I've read all the comments, and the number one technique that people were intimidated by was definitely brioche knitting. I think that was definitely number one. Other techniques were fair owl knitting or stranded colourwork. People finding it difficult to get their tension correct, which is probably a problem with your floats being too tight if it's in stranded colourwork. Worrying about knitting garments and making sure they fit, because it's a big investment in time and money to knit garments. So I might do a separate video on that with my top tips for knitting a garment that fits you properly. Some people were intimidated by lace knitting, or they want to learn lace knitting, sock knitting, The fairer double pointed needles. Now you don't need to use double pointed needles to knit socks. You can use magic loop, which a lot of people find easier. Some people don't. You can also use the really tiny circular needles that are really, really small. I find those more difficult, but I will put a link to my magic loop tutorial and my circular knitting tutorial where I talk about different types of circular knitting. And some found lace knitting intimidating. So yeah, and somebody wanted to learn entrelac. Some people have conquered double knitting, which is one of the things that I find really intimidating, is double knitting. I haven't tried that yet. Probably isn't as bad once I actually try it. What else was there? Intarsia was also mentioned as a technique somebody wanted to conquer. Intarsia, simple intarsia isn't too bad. Intarsia with loads and loads of colours is a nightmare, because making sure you don't get those colours tangled up. Anyway, those were the things. If you're interested, go to episode 43 and you can have a read through everyone's comments. If you didn't watch episode 43, you can tell me this below this episode where you find intimidating and what technique you want to conquer. But obviously the prize draw has closed. So Ali Williams, get in touch. I'll put my email below and we'll sort out your prize, and all the other links are below as well. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will hopefully, before the next episode, I will finish the 2 pairs of socks. Hopefully. I'm about finished one and then I'm nearly finished the other one. I actually have the next sock yarn I want to cast on here, so I can't decide whether to go for which one of these to go for. Really tempted to do that one because it's so gorgeous. So that's the I think the label just fell off. Hang on, let me grab the label. The label fell off for some reason, but it's the Black Stag Superwash Merino Nylon Jelly Pop colourway. So gorgeous. So I don't know whether to do that one. I'm going to just tie the label back on while I'm talking. I don't know whether to cast on for that one. Somebody I follow on Twitter is knitting it as well, and it's really pretty. So I might cast on for that one, but I'm also really tempted by that new colourway from the Little Grey Girl. So we'll see. Oh, and I got some new fingerless gloves. If you have watched my previous videos, I think I mentioned in the last podcast, I can't remember, Turtle Doves, they really should sponsor me because I love their gloves. I had an ad pop up on Instagram. They were doing £10 off. It was their Lucky Dip colourway, so you chose the colour group. So mine was lemon and lime, so I was hoping for more of a limey colour than the lemon, but a little bit of a light colour. Don't get dirty quickly, I think, but I thought I would keep these in my office because I frequently get cold hands when I'm working at my desk. So I thought these would just live at my desk so that they're here whenever my hands get cold. So if they are recycled cashmere, and they're so soft and they're so warm and they're really beautiful. So if you have cold hands like me, I'll put the link to Turtle Doves below. Tell them I sent you, and they really should sponsor me. If anyone from Turtle Doves see this, sponsor me. I love your products. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much if you're a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and please sign up to my newsletter as well, because you'll be the first one to know about any new patterns, any new workshops, all that kind of stuff. Next week, I think I've got a video for you on what's in my knitting kit. It should have gone out last week, but then issue 227 of Knitting Magazine came out, so I released that tutorial to go with my cardigan instead. So I think next week is going to be my essential knitting kit. So I hope you enjoy that. I release videos every Friday, alternate between podcast episode, tutorials, and yarn and product reviews. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.